What's going on? This is Shango Ray, aka Real Deal Ray. Are you cursed? So, are you? All this talk about cursing. If you haven't watched part one of this, I highly, strongly suggest stop this right now. If you just watching this and you haven't watched part one, you gotta watch part one. Part one, we go through what exactly is a curse, how you can get a curse, and we also give a 13 basically key indications of someone who may be cursed. So if you have five or more of these 13, then there's a very good chance that you want to get some assistance or at least get very, proactive, aggressive, about getting out from under this curse, neutralizing it, okay? Because the bottom line is, you know, depending on what area and how you're cursing. Everybody's a little bit different, okay? But your magic spells, if your spell work, if nothing ever, just no matter what you try, no matter what modality, what spell, what law of attraction technique, what visualization technique, you keep smacking up against the wall, you keep flopping, then there's, it's going to keep being that until you take care of this whole curse business, till you neutralize and liberate yourself. Now, this video, we're going to cover a few different ways that you can begin to get yourself free and clear of whatever curse may have been affecting you and or possibly earlier generations or whatnot. Now let me say this too before we continue. This is a very unique type of process. And what I mean is, each one of you out there who may be suffering, living with a curse, okay? Perhaps it's in finances, perhaps it's with love. Every time you think you got the love of your life, in your hand, it ends in heartbreak and disaster, okay? Could be health problems, could be a combination of several, okay? But whatever the situation is, whatever the symptoms are, whatever the effects are of this particular curse that you may or may not be suffering from, when it comes down to the actual individual, what I'm going to tell you here can definitely assist you and can definitely help you. Okay. But it's impossible for me to tell you exactly, what you would particularly need because you're an individual, your situation is unique. Whatever type of energy that you're dealing with that could be causing this uh, is unique to you, So every case really actually is, in and of itself, unique. So to take a cookie cutter approach would kind of be folly, in my opinion. Okay. But what I'm going to tell you, and some of these things here, I only have a few things here, um, as far as attacking the curse on basically two types of fronts. Okay. One is definitely, let me, I got to tell you this. When you're getting rid of a curse, when you are stepping out from underneath the yoke, the bondage of a curse, you have to be at that point where you are fucking tired of being tired, okay? Where you willing to do whatever it takes, however long it takes, okay? This whole microwave instant gratification thing that we all seem to live in, that's like that's the cornerstone of everything right now is just instant gratification. Like if that is kind of what your angle is, or you're expecting to hear some, you sprinkle some magic pixie dust on it and boom, poof, and we're talking about alleviating a situation or an ongoing type of circumstance that you have maybe suffering for months, maybe years, and you think it's just gonna poof. I mean, I hate to disappoint you, but in a way, I don't hate to because I want to be real with you. I got to keep it real with you, and I'm going to keep it real with you because shit don't work like that. You know, even if you come to somebody, a trusted source who can definitely help you, there's still going to be a large portion of work that you're going to have to do. You know, because at best somebody else can facilitate. Somebody else can maybe get you clear, but you don't want to be like that person that goes to the doctor, right? And the doctor gives them some antibiotics for something. 3 days later, after taking the antibiotics, they're feeling great. They say, I don't need to take the rest of the days of this shit. And then what happens? It ends up coming back, sometimes even worse. And sometimes maybe because you didn't finish the dosage, the prescribed dosage, now it is resistant to that. So now you're going to have to try something else. You know, now I know that's a crude example, but if you're not willing to put in your own work, your own time, because let's face it, if you indeed are cursed, then it is your curse. You have to own it before you can do anything about it. Whatever your problem is, whatever your challenge is, you must own it because it is alive and well in your reality, in your circumstance. It would not be there if it didn't correspond with something inside. Everything in your environment, everything in your life at this point in time is a reflection of some inner aspect of you. So if you're not willing to, put in the work, if you're expecting to hear some super duper magic 3 word spell that's gonna just like that take away your shit, then you should probably turn that shit off right now. This shit off right now because this is not going to be the video for you. Okay, what I'm going to talk to you about is how you could basically dismantle a curse. I'm gonna admittedly, this is kind of generic, like I said, because I don't know your exact situation. I don't know what you're suffering from. I don't know the who, what, when, where's, and whys. Okay, but these are like actually these are maybe what 2 or 3 key things that you can do. Okay, so let's just get into them and get started and see what's going on. Okay, number one, the first place I believe, me personally, that you have to attack the curse on, if you will, or start to dismantle it, I should say, is at the level of beliefs and the level of your self identity, who you see yourself as, the person that you see yourself as. Are you this loser? You know what I mean? Because more than likely, you may not have even technically admitted it to yourself, like whatever the case is, whatever you're suffering from, okay? Maybe it's like I said, unlucky in love or unlucky in finances or whatever it is, health problems. I'm always sick, whatever it is. Um, what we want to do first and foremost, and I hate to use the J word, but for a situation like this, you definitely want a avenue, a way to get your thoughts out of your head and into some form of physical concrete form, such as paper and ink. Okay, so you definitely want a notepad or some form of a journal or something because you're going to need it. Believe me. Okay, and what you want to do is, first of all, you identify the area in which the curse, in which you feel, I should say, that the curse is affecting you most. Now, it may be affecting several different areas. Yes, some of you might even feel my life is clusterfucked. The whole thing's clusterfucked, Shangal. What you talking about? Okay, that's fine. Re-examine again. I'm sure it either started in one area or it's predominantly worse in one area than, let's say, others. Okay, now being that certain other areas of your life might have taken hits also doesn't make it any better, but you will find more than likely there's one area of your life in particular. Okay, so if you could just relax yourself and allow that to come to the forefront of your mind, it'll make sense. And even if it doesn't right here and right now, when you're washing dishes, taking a shit, taking a shower or something, and you've totally forgot about watching this video, that's when it'll come back for you. Okay, so once you identify this, you want to also ask questions about this situation. Okay. And the reason why you want to ask questions, and I'm just going to kind of get down to it, is you want to start to wobble and weaken the beliefs. There's I'm cursed, and then there's I'm a cursed person. And then there's underneath that, it might be, for example, like this is just a rough example, like I said, because there's many different types of curses and there's many different areas in one's life that one could be cursed. But like, okay, so let's say unlucky in love. All right, what is it that indicates to you that you're unlucky in love, right? Well, I started dating this person and they turned out to be a piece of shit, and I just feel so stupid, that I even let this person in my life, and I almost hate myself for doing that, and blah 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 blah. So then, as we can see, when you start writing it down, you might start what you really want to look for are the beliefs that center around who you think you are in relation to this curse. What kind of person has this curse kind of like made you become, if you will? That's even a better question, I would say, because then that we get to see how the curse is relating to our own identity, as far as what area in our life that we're being affected by. Then we can start asking other questions underneath that to start wobbling that. Because what you really want to do, you really want to also um, liberate, or I hate saying the word attack, but I guess you could say to neutralize the curse on the mental level. In my opinion, that's one of the most important places, because you can take all the baths, you can get all the Olympias, you can do all that shit, okay? If you come out of that bath, that Olympia, that cleansing, that whatever, and you start thinking the same bullshit that you were thinking before you came in to that bath, that Olympia, that cleansing, you're going to basically just soil yourself like a big dirty diaper all over again. Okay? And that's why if you don't get it here, especially, and start interacting with your subconscious mind about this whole curse business and who it means that you are, then even if you do get some type of headway or some type of results, it's going to be only temporary, because you're going to revert back. Your self identity is one of the most powerful things that, period. It's going to determine how far you can go and how low you will go. You know, like we mentioned it before. I've talked about it before. A lot of people have talked about it before. And the self identity, your self image, how you see yourself, is pretty much like a thermometer. It won't let you go super low down into the dumps, possibly, but it'll only let you go so high unless you get in there and start to adjust that thermostat. Okay, so what you want to do, like I said, is you want to start asking yourself questions around this whole topic of how you're cursed. What's your proof that you're cursed? Okay, for example, I seem to always attract, okay, what would make me think that? What would make me believe that? What is the proof in my reality? Well, I dated this person, I dated that person, and I did this person. Okay, so does dating these three people just empirically mean that you are cursed? You know? Or does it mean that you might be susceptible? Is there something within yourself that is also attracting these kinds of people? You know what I mean? The point is, you want to start looking through your questions. You want to start looking for confirmations that cross out the belief of being cursed. Okay, whatever that curse is, like I said, whether it's unlucky, in this example here we're talking about unlucky in love, right? So you want to start attacking that belief of unlucky in love. You want to start poking holes in it, because it's going to weaken. Now, beliefs travel in packs. Okay, beliefs travel in packs. So there's always pretty much a hierarchy of beliefs, if you will. Think of Jenga, the game Jenga, right? The foundational beliefs are always at the bottom. And because we believe something, something happens in our life, we say, oh, that's true. Now I got proof for that. So now we add another log or block of Jenga on top. And through our lives, we keep stacking them up. So what you want to do is through your questions, your genuine curiosity questions, is that really true? Because it can be said that, nah, that's not really actually true. Just because I've dated three different people, I know it feels like it, but that doesn't empirically mean that I have bad luck in love. I made three shitty choices. Could it just mean I made three shitty choices? Does it really mean? And if there's any, consider yourself like you're in a courtroom, um, it needs to be beyond a reasonable doubt. And fortunately for you, it's easy to cast a reasonable doubt around whatever the belief is. So remember, we're going Jenga on them, right? We want to start working on them bottom ones, because once you pull just one of those major bottom beliefs out, the rest are going to crumble. And another thing that you want to do, because like I said, remember, you had so much time, whether it's months or years, okay, going through your life, gathering evidence that you're cursed, that you're not good enough, that you're stupid, that you're whatever, right? So you're going to want to also give yourself some time to start gathering new evidence, what are also called confirmations, okay? Because you're looking to confirm that this bottom Jenga piece belief here is bullshit. It ain't empirically true. I've just been choosing to see it that way. Okay. But you got to get it through the intellectual and into the more experiential. So you want to start looking. And I'm talking about, you want to be generous, man. You want to find any little piece of evidence in your day to day reality. And when you find it, you want to write it down. That's why you need a notebook or something like that. And this is more than just a day or two, or maybe even a week. You want to at least do this for like 2 to 3 weeks to really start making headway. Okay. And that's how you start basically also unwrapping. Now, we are now and for a short time going to be offering hex and curse removal services. But first, there always does needs to be some form of a consultation so we can discuss your particular unique case. For this, I'm also been instructed to do ancestral divinations in which I'm actually working with your ancestors on this, because they know a lot more, than Baba Shangito does about you. Okay, but the reason I'm bringing that up is because what eventually is going to happen is there's different treatment packages, but each treatment package also does include alchemical coaching also, because we do need to have one-on-one. And yes, there is the spiritual component, so I will do ritual work, okay, just like you probably want to do some ritual work for yourself on this, okay. So once you get the belief part down, and at least you want to start poking holes in some of these beliefs, because that's how the curse, super glues itself to you, is through your beliefs. Okay, so once you find one shred of evidence, and you've already been told that, hey, you might be cursed, or maybe someone told you they did curse you, and then shit starts going bad, or maybe you just get that intuitive nudge, from your energy system and from your subconscious mind that, we have an intruder in the house, okay, and they're causing some ruckus over here, okay. So it's important to definitely attack and unravel the curse on the mental level. You must, okay, and on the level of your self image, because you got to start to change that self image, because that, if you go back to that self image of that defeated, that thwarted, you know loser cursed individual type thing, that's what you're gonna go back to. So So that's why you have to. And sometimes there are certain cases where that happens kind of instantaneous. A lot of times it might even be through some type of a traumatic event or something that just shocks you, you know. But for the most part, you can expect that it's going to take a little bit of time. You better fucking slow down. You better take your shoes off and get comfortable because it's going to take a little bit of time. I'm not saying it's going to take forever, but it's going to take a little bit of time, and you need to be patient with yourself. All right. So that's attacking it on the mental level. Now, let's talk about some spiritual things that one can do. Okay. There's spiritual baths. Okay. Now, there's a whole lot of different spiritual baths that one can do to take away a curse. The tricky thing about it is, like I said, it's difficult to tell you exactly what. And I know people are going to be, well, what bath would I do? Okay. It's not even just about what bath. Okay. Just like it ain't about what medicine, it's also about the dosage. How much? For how long? Okay? So you got a bath, right? Do you take a bath one day? You take a bath for 3 days? You take a bath for 5 days? You take this bath for 7 days in a row? Do you take this bath once a week for 7 weeks? There's a whole bunch of different factors here. It's impossible for me to just tell you A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay? But one very powerful way is spiritual baths because that is dealing with the physical. Water is very transformative. Water is also very programmable. Okay? Shit, you're 70% water, anyways, also. So you're in good company, right? So, like I said, there's a lot of different kinds of baths. I don't think, honestly, for the sake of this video, that the context of the bath, I should say, no, excuse me, the contents of the bath at this point, because there's so many of them. And depending on what someone is dealing with, okay, at the most basic one that I could say is definitely a rue bath, R-U-E, a rue bath, okay? And what you would do is you would take some rue and probably, a good size pot, and you would simmer the rue in there for about 2 hours, okay? You would take this water and you would then pour it into your bath water. Okay. Now, I also like to use, sea salt in addition to that. Um, that's just like a very simplified bath. I got one though for you. I got one for you though. It's a lot of you like to be handheld and told exactly what the fuck to do, when to do it, and am I doing it right? And if I did 1 more inch this way, is that right? If I do yes, okay, just relax, okay. Remember, most of this, 99% of this, is all about intention, anyways. So when you come to that bath water, what's most important is that the sincerity of your heart is there, that you are actually, I'm ready to be free from this shit. You know, when you're putting your hand and stirring the contents in the bath with your hand, don't be afraid to let tears come down your eye. Like, commit to the bit, god damn it. Don't just do the robot, okay, and go through the motions, because that shit ain't gonna cut it. Okay? You want to invoke all that fucking frustration and all the shit that this curse has had you go through, that this curse has had you feel, and that the kind of person that you have become, or that you have allowed yourself to become. Let's keep in responsibility. Who has the power here? You do. Okay? So that this curse has helped you to become, I guess you could say, or whatnot. Okay, but baths are very powerful. But if you want a specific one, I got one for you. Okay, now this one is a 3-day. Okay, and you want to be kind of careful, and you want to use 7 fresh eggs. Okay, now if you're a woman, it's easier because you can carry them with you. If you're a man, you're going to need a backpack or whatever. And I know this is going to sound crazy, all right? But you also want to write on this egg, like, for example, unlucky in love. There's another egg. Let's say you want to name a lover or something. There's certain incidences that stick out, okay? but you're going to carry around 7 of these eggs, okay, for 3 days, okay? And you're going to take a bath for 3 days in a row. And when you take a bath, you're going to take these eggs and you're going to put them in the bath with you. And you're going to imagine that these eggs are soaking up all the fucked up juju that might be around your system, okay, that has been just corroding, okay, diuretically corroding your life, okay. I said diuretically as in diarrhea, just your life has become diarrhea, you might feel, okay, just explosive, all right. These eggs are now soaking up the juju, which is causing all of that, okay. On the third day and after crossroads, hopefully a more quieter one, and I would do it at night, and you're gonna leave, you're gonna basically kind of, if this is the crossroad and you're walking through, the middle of the road, you're going to throw these eggs behind you into, so as you're walking through the middle of the crossroad, you throw the eggs out into the middle of the crossroad, okay, and you don't look back, you don't look back. That's also symbolic of finality. This shit is done. I'm done with you, okay. I'm done with you, and it's a wrap, and that's it. All right. So once you do that, then you also want to make sure that you leave in a different way in than which you came to that crossroad. Okay. That's a very, very powerful bath. Not a lot of people know about that bath. Okay. Not a lot of people know about that bath. It's a very interesting story. I'm not going to tell that story right here, but very interesting story behind that bath. But that one does definitely work if you commit to it. Like I said, if you really put your heart into it. But that kind of goes with everything, correct? Um, then, of course, you may also want to look into different crystals, okay? Especially like onyx, hematite, those that actually transmute, okay? Because there's another way of looking at this energy, this pattern energy that has made its way into your life to fuck shit up. Now, energy is just energy. It can't be destroyed and it can't be created, but it can be transformed, okay? Or you can look at it like it can be recycled, all right? I like to look at it and think about it. You take it and you recycle it. And now it's just pure, refined energy that you can use for whatever you want. Okay, you're not resisting this thing anymore. You're not, you're not using energy to keep it in place. And then as you're keeping it in place, you're also resisting it because you don't like it. It's kind of like a virus malware on your phone. They say if your battery doesn't last long, all of a sudden you notice that you got to charge your phone all the time. It's because this virus is sucking the energy out of your phone, out of your phone's battery. So that's why it's always constantly running low because it's constantly on. It's constantly sending and receiving. It's constantly doing shit, even when your phone's at rest and shouldn't be doing anything. Or you touch your phone, it's just been sitting there all this hot. Why is it hot? I ain't even been using this bitch. So much in the same way, these curses or pattern energy, they do the same thing to you. That's why you're tired as fuck all the time. That's why you got no energy. That's why you're worn out. That's why your whole outlook on life, when your physicality is drained, that makes life like, ugh, you know? There's no vibrancy at all to it. There's nothing. So look at a lot of these curses almost in a way like you would a computer virus or a virus that you would get on your phone. Okay, you want to be sure to what we're going to do is we're going to take it, and once we get the virus out, then all of a sudden now your phone or computer has more energy, has more processing power that it can use for the projects that you want to use your computer for, as opposed to just always being you always got to plug it up because the battery don't last and shit like that. So I'm gonna conclude this video, but I guess to recap, you definitely want to deal with a curse on a mental level, okay, subconscious level, also the level of your self image, how you see yourself, okay. You want to start to belief bust. You want to bust a lot of these beliefs that you have incurred while living with this curse. Because now these beliefs become a part of just, this is just who I am. That's dangerous territory. You don't want to be there, okay? We also deal with it on a more spiritual or energetic level. Okay, so you can do the symbolic gestures and also use the herbs and things that have corresponding pattern energy within them too, because herbs, that's what herbs do. Herbs have patterned energy. You know, cinnamon has a very unique and particular pattern kind of energy. It's very hot, it's fiery. You know, when you think of cinnamon, you don't think of cool, calm, and relaxing, because it's just not that, that's not the energy that this herb has, you know. Just like with eucalyptus is more calm, chill, and kind of just opens you up, you know. Totally different from cinnamon, okay. Both of these herbs have patterned energy or ashe within them, okay. So you can use the implements, the herbs, to create a bath or whatnot. And like I said, there's so many types of baths. It'd be impossible for me. I already gave you one, but working on the spiritual side and energetic side, either with baths, and to complement that, like I said, hematite, black tourmaline, or black onyx, these crystals, when you sit with them, when you talk with them, when you establish a relationship with them, and when you meditate with them, you program them, okay? Because they have very specific functions. They do very specific things, and one of them, a lot of those three in particular, are really good at dissipating and transmuting negative energy from within as well as from without too. So that's also something you want to do to kind of help also fortify your aura. Okay, now that's a whole other subject, because some of y'all got holes, got holy ass auras. You're missing pieces of your aura. Okay, so you might even want to try recalling those pieces. You can actually recall those pieces and have your shit fortified and whole again. Not holy, but whole. Okay, complete. All right. So comment down below any questions. It's my intention that this video has helped you, you know, to the best of your ability. And like I said, you can look in the description box. We are now offering hex and curse removal services. It starts with a curse assessment and divination consultation with yours truly. Okay, I'm going to need to talk to you thoroughly about the problems. I may have a lot of questions also, um, and as well, I want the opportunity to be able to do a very thorough ancestral divination on the what's the problem, and what do we do. Okay, and then we can also talk about which type of treatment package that we're going to do. The treatment packages usually do include also, of course, ritual work from myself on your behalf, as well as maybe some things that you needs to do. Okay, as well as biweekly alchemical coaching calls. Okay, because it's very important. That's for the mental aspect, and sometimes it's hard to do it on yourself. I mean, you can ask yourself questions and stuff like that, but it's hard to really get in there sometimes yourself. Sometimes you need an outside perspective. Okay, sometimes you want an outside perspective who can ask you other questions that you wouldn't have even thought of asking. All right, that type of shit. Okay, so look in the description box. Come check us out. Book your curse assessment and divination session with yours truly. And like I said, that's where we can talk about your case thoroughly, do some ancestral divination, find out the what and the what, right? And then see which treatment package is going to work for you, and discuss how long and stuff we need to be working together to do this. Okay, so peace and blessings. See you on the other side, and I'll speak to you soon.